Oh shit, here we go, here we go. What's up, everybody? So, as you know, in the title, it says best gaming laptop, or sorry, gaming console to get for your money. And what I'm gonna tell y'all is this main thing is that you go where your money's at. The thing that gives you best money. I game, okay? I'm always wanting to update to the new console, but the only drawback is that most of these system makers are not trying to um, make it where they're backwards compatible from the last gen console, and that's always a downfall for me. Like, it's a no. Like, you can't update from the last console in order to bring in a new console. I not doing it. It's not a possibility. So for the most part, I'm gonna suggest that most of you, if you're going to get a console for the house, whether it be for yourself or someone else, make sure it's backwards compatible, so then that way you get the best for your money, meaning that you can get last generation games to play on that console, which doubles the games that you can play and have in your arsenal. And for the most part, I would say as of right now, the Nintendo Wii and Xbox One would be your best bet. As far as I've seen and looked at for myself, they're both backwards compatible. Now, I have Xbox 360, I have a GameCube, I have a Nintendo Wii, and I have a PlayStation 3. I've been waiting to decide what I wanted to get as far as the next gen consoles go, but the main holdup was the fact that at the time, Xbox and PlayStation were like, we're not doing backwards compatibility. Now, if you can't do backwards compatibility, and I've already invested my money and time into the previous consoles, and I can't take that with me, that's for me, as somebody who already has games, that's a deal breaker. You know what I'm saying? Because it's basically like, for example, you're dating someone and they have kids. Now you're like, oh, I can date you, but your kid got to stay home. They're gonna look at you like you're crazy. So basically, that's how I come at it when it comes to consoles. Now that I found out that the Xbox One has a decent library to where you can backwards compatible your old games, meaning the physical copies. I'm talking about the disc. Like, you put the disc in, it'll run that disc and let you play it. Okay, so that's the part I'm talking about. I know some of these games, everybody's going towards more downloadable content, stuff like that. The only thing with that is the fact that I don't trust the fact that if something happens to their servers or anything of that nature, I can't retrieve those games, or they might modify those games somehow, some way, to where it's not the same content that it was when it first came out, which probably drew me into purchasing that game or whatever case it is. And plus, also, you pay $60 off top for a game just to realize that it's only 12 hours of gameplay and it sucks, or you play through the whole game and it's whack. You don't get money back for downloaded content that I feel is worth it. Like, you don't get to play throughout the whole game to realize that, oh wait, this game was actually trash and I can't believe I wasted my whole life or my whole time playing this game for it to end like this, which most of us know has happened in certain games. At least with physical copies, and this is where I know I'm getting off subject real quick, just give me a second. The fact that I wish everybody would kind of get behind GameStop, and hopefully GameStop gets their stuff together, is the fact that if the game is terrible, you have a place to go to turn it in and get some kind of recompensation for that game, even if it's half the value of the game or whatever case is. You know, download games, from what I've been told, is if you play a certain amount of time on that game, or you keep it for a certain amount of time, you don't get money back. There's nothing. You stuck there. You can't be like, oh, I want to get rid of this game. Can I get more money? Can I get something back for it? It doesn't happen that way. For as long as I've been told and stuff like that, it's not like that. It might be different. Y'all can leave the comments below and let me know. But back to consoles best for your money. As of right now, the Wii U would be the best to go. Now, I feel a little a certain way about the fact that Nintendo didn't really get the developers to push themselves to really, get behind the Wii U. Even though I read articles on how, it was hard to work with the system and the bugs and all this other stuff that happened that made it difficult to develop games and made it very much, unpleasant and uneasy for developers. I get it. Nintendo, y'all got to step it up. You should have did something and listen to the developers, so that way you could have made it better or made an upgrade version instead of just coming out with the Switch. Now, the Switch is nice, but it's basically the gamepad from the Nintendo Wii. What you need to do, Nintendo, is to somehow make an update for the Nintendo Wii to be compatible with the Switch, so then that way you can get an adopter like me to also buy the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo can be the replacement for the basically the tablet that goes with the Nintendo Wii U. Then that way you have the best of both worlds. I can use my Switch and also still have it interact with my Nintendo Wii U with some of the games. I still feel that you guys still need to push games for Nintendo Wii U. That I like the console, I'm playing it, and I feel like, yes, it's a family game until you guys hopefully get your network together to promote online games with other people. But still, the fact that the Nintendo Wii U is backwards compatible with the Wii games makes it where a person can still build their game collection while supporting that next gen console. You know what I'm saying? Now, the fact that you guys went to Switch and it technically leaves out anything to do with the Wii U, that's basically saying that it's not a home console, it's a to-go console. It's a tablet on the go. You're basically, to me, you guys are competing with like the Apple tablet, things like that. But either way, as far as home consoles go, I would definitely suggest you guys go out there and get the Nintendo Wii U if you can find it somewhere used and not new. I mean, you waste some money if you try to get it new. Plus, if you can find it new, you spending too much money. First of all, if you're trying to buy it brand new, you're wasting a lot of money. But if you can find it used somewhere, I would definitely suggest doing that and go out there and get games from the Nintendo Wii system, and you have way more games that you can play at your arsenal, and it will last you a little bit longer doing so. Okay. Second, as you know, I already said it, console I would say if you want to get is the Xbox One, because from what I saw in their list of games that is backwards compatible for the system from the 360, that would be your second best bet, because from what I've seen, they kept updating the list of games that is backwards compatible on the Xbox One, which means that the Xbox One supports the Xbox 360 games, the physical games, okay? And that's what you want to do, because in order to save more money into these systems, it's best that you can buy previous games used and build your collection, so that way you get the most out of your money and the system. Now, the thing is about it, though, if you do go Xbox One, it doesn't have online gameplay for free. That is, it has online connectivity for games and stuff like that, but in order to, if you get a game and you want to play against people online, you're gonna have to pay the $5 a month thing, or whatever the subscription for Xbox Live. Now, for me, I really don't care too much about that. I think I'm gonna stick with my PS3 if I want to play online with people, because I don't have to pay to do that. When I bought the system, it did that automatically, and I feel like I'm cool with that. If I do go online, it'll be here and there, maybe on certain games, but for me as a gamer, I'm more about the first person experience, meaning it has to have a story mode with most of the games that I play, so I'm not relying upon the people to play online and things like that. So on top of that, which is why I'm saying get used, because if you do plan on buying a monthly subscription thing or a 3-month trial thing, mind you, those timers don't stop unless, again, I'm mistaken and they change something. When you buy a 3-month subscription card or 6-month or a year, it's not like there's a countdown clock. That month goes away, that month is done deal. If you don't play for a month, you basically wasting money and you're not getting the most out of it. So unless I feel you're really a hardcore gamer and you're playing at least every other day to get the most out of your money for that subscription, I would say, make sure any games that you do get has a great line for first person events on a date and add to your collection of games, so that way you get games that appeal to you, as well as there are games that people who are trusted rate fairly. Okay, now the only reason why I haven't put PlayStation 4 in is because they don't do backwards compatibility. Sorry, that's the whole thing about this is the fact that you want to get something that's worth your money and you can get the most out of it. So if you are going to upgrade, it's best to look for the Xbox One. If you already got 360 games, you want to upgrade your system, get an Xbox One because it's backwards compatible with most games. And I've looked at the library, have a pretty extensive library of games that's backwards compatible with a physical copy of the games. And also the Nintendo Wii U, because you can take your Wii games and play it on the Wii U. Now remember, with the Wii U, is to say that you have to have the Wii remote and all the things that go with whatever game you're going to play, because you're going to need that in order to play that particular game from the previous gen. Now, the PlayStation 4, if and I'm gonna say Xbox One, if at all you don't care too much about the previous gen games and all that stuff, you just want something coming out the gate, those will most likely be a best bet for you to get as a gift or to give someone, because if they don't care about last year's games and they just want something now and today, cool. Straight off the bat, go get you either one of those systems. I'm pretty sure you'll gravitate to which one you feel is best. But for me, I don't want to pay to go online for these games, and I feel like it's a money grab, especially if you're going to find you're paying people a month. So think about that. Like, you already spent right now, I think the system's going for like $200. Well, Xbox is $199 for a new Xbox One. I don't know about the Xbox X and One S and all that other shit. Regardless, if you buy new, just know every year that you have that game and you're going to be paying for the subscription paid, and I feel that's not okay. I would have got a PlayStation 4 if PlayStation didn't adapt to that method, but I also understand that they need to have money to take care of the infrastructure of their online network, things like that. But I feel like there's different ways to kind of make that happen. Whereas the reason why I got a PlayStation 3 was because I can get online and play. Like, I didn't even buy games for my Xbox One. My Xbox 360, because all the games that I wanted to play at the time, I can just go and play on my PS3, because most of the time it wasn't one exclusive game set to a certain platform. There was cross-platform games that I was buying, so I was like, okay, first of all, I'm not gonna buy two different games to play with my friends on Xbox or to play with my friends on PS3. It wasn't gonna happen. Hell with that. Any games that I wanted to go online and play, I went out and I bought that game specifically for my PS3. On top of that, issue, we'll get into that in a different video, whatever. But basically, to sum this up, to not make this too long, is the fact that I'm letting you guys know that if you want to get the most for your money, if you're going to give somebody a video game system, best for their money, that they can go out and stack their collection of games, I would say the Wii U, because it plays previous Wii games with it. But make sure you also get the Wii remote and all the other little controls that you might need from the Wii if you're going to buy Wii games, because you're going to need that to play, which is still a good investment because you're still able to build your collection. And also Xbox One, you can always search online and at their website to double check to look at the list of games that is backwards compatible for the Xbox One from the previous Xbox 360. So those two systems I would definitely recommend because of the fact that they're backwards compatible. And just to put it out there for the rest of the developers, stuff like that, if y'all pre-think, backward compatibility, I don't think it'll be that much difficult in the long run to get people to buy into the next gen consoles, because people who are gamers, us, we are building a library. We're building uh, our stack of collections to take with us wherever we go. Now, I'm not saying 2 gens up, only next gen. Okay, so just like if a person is an Xbox 360 gamer and they want an Xbox One, guess what? They're like, wait, I can't take this game with me. So they're gonna want to take their games with them. Okay, so keep that in mind when you're developing of the Xbox place. Make sure to already pre-think the previous buyer take their games with them, because it takes up a lot of room when they're out here to bring over our games with us. Okay, and again, I get it. Everything pretty soon might be downloadable only, but for those of us who actually like the physical games, because that lets me know like this is a game I can boot this thing up without internet connection and play without a problem. That lets me know that I won't run into problems later on in life and stuff like that. So, which is why it's good to buy physical copies. And again, you guys, whatever the case is, get your stuff together. And I hope everybody does get behind you guys, because I have faith, but at the same time, you guys are kind of shooting yourself in the foot with your infrastructure and not getting these deals out and calls when people are having issues and stuff, because it's not a good look. But because you can go to GameStops and sell games that you feel was whack, that you paid $60 for, and it turned out to be horrible, that's the fact that I'm saying you should get behind GameStop. But GameStop, you got to do your due diligence and make people want to invest in you and do right, okay? Other than that, thanks for watching the video. Again, Nintendo Wii U and the Xbox One, because they are backwards compatible, is the best bang for your buck. But buy pre-owned, okay? So then that way you can save some money and use that next money to buy something else and more games that are pre-owned. This is all about pre-owned. Unless a game comes out and it's hit all the marks and everybody's talking about it and it says, you know, 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5, whatever the case is, and you feel like you want to adventure, buy new, buy new. But as far as the games, I would say definitely buy used, so that way you know what you're getting yourself into, okay? That's the whole point, is save money, more bang for your buck. Check you guys out later.